once was.
Gentlemen, may I have your attention, please? The show starts in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Go.
Oh, don't worry. That kind of stuff happens a lot with things. So, ooh, are we live? Hi, everybody. So, we're having audio troubles, but he will be with us very shortly. I'm just taking over BTMX today. That's what's gonna happen. I get to be the DJ tonight. And unfortunately, I don't have Facebook up right now or anything, so I can't see this while we're doing it. But I will get to all of the comments tonight, and thank you for anyone who's tuned in. I appreciate you. I don't think that anybody can quite hear you yet, but for any okay, he's in the background hiding, that's okay. For anyone who is just tuning in, hi, I'm Jana Lima Chica. I go by Lady J, and I own First Angel Media, as well as do my own photography through Jana Lima Chica. Pretty simple. I am a professional photographer of mostly live music. I'm gonna already interview myself before we're done here. I
Look,
don't
look,
know.
I'm live now. It worked. You fixed it. See, we were going to do this interview one way or another. If it wasn't for this beautiful woman, Miss Jana, there wouldn't be no BTMX. She surely knows how to do this. So I'm just going to sit back and just ponder about why the mic would not work at this moment.
I think it's me. Like the last week, everything that I touch that is technology, something on some end goes completely horribly wrong.
So, now I fixed my volume. I'm not screaming at people, and I can actually like listen without
Screaming
bleeding.
internet
Yeah.
attack.
So, um, I want to tell you personally, thank you as being one of my like main mentors into this this journey I had with BTMX. If everybody does not know, when I first started out, I started out by myself with just a dream, and then I end up running into Jana through Patrick, and Jana just kind of stuck with me, and she helped me. She helped me build my brand. She helped us to figure out the name and be more business like with it, and just to make sure we were succeeding where we wanted to succeed at. So, personally, thank you for coming in to be a part of my life and my family's life. Thank you for giving me in my own business a future. And do you know how many people that you've actually you're just positive around? You help uplift. Do you know how many people actually care and would like be devastated if you weren't there?
I I so much appreciate that. Thank you. Number one, I am so proud of everything that you've built with this. You have really turned this into what you were saying you wanted it to be. Um, I couldn't be more proud to see how you just took everything and flew with it. That is amazing. I love to see that. I love to see all the people working with you, everybody coming together. You have so many good shows happening all of the time. And thank you for doing this. Thank you for being a part of all of this craziness of those of us who try to support other people. And I honestly, I you sent me a video earlier, and I ended up sending a thank you to everybody involved in that because I don't really think that a lot of what I do is too special. I'm just trying to be there for people and be supportive of them. And I was really lucky because whenever I started, I found Bill Damiano I found Lee Caruso Jr. Of Big Atlantic, and I found, various people that were able to give me insight and tell me, how to do things. I never would have even known really how to change half the stuff on my camera if I hadn't run into my now good friend Dan GTX. And every person that helped me along the way reminded me that, it's wonderful whenever you're not going it alone. You mentioned how do I know how many I know how many officially people I have worked with, but I to get the feedback that I've truly helped people, um, that meant a lot to me. Thank you so much. I really sat there crying, and I had to gather myself up. I'm very glad that you showed me that earlier, because otherwise this would be me ugly crying right now.
And that's why I went ahead and sent it to you earlier, because I wanted to make sure you've seen it. And if you guys don't know what she's talking about, after her interview, exactly after, I'm going to go ahead and play it. And what we did was, everybody here at BTMX, I explained to them, if it wasn't for this woman that's right in front of you, I wouldn't have had the strength to carry on with this business. I wouldn't have been able to seek my dreams, talk to the artists, be able to do photography, have a goal at all with this, if it wasn't for her taking me by the hand and understanding me as a person, instead of just downgrading me like, oh, you're stupid, you can't do that. She never said that once. And to have someone like that you just don't know come into your life and take you and show you that you are a person amongst nothing is just a great feeling. And to help, that's what pushed us to drive to go be better, is because you came in and you showed me what it was meant to be a person, that I could succeed at this. And that just, that fueled the fire. And then I met with my business partner, Silhouette Death, and now look, a year later, what we look like now. And it's all because it started off with you taking me by the hand in your team and showing me that I can be a person, but I can also be a successful person. So that's what matters. And that's why at BTMX we committed to that goal. No matter who you are or where you're from, what business that you have, it doesn't matter. If it's a dream to you and you want to be successful with it, BTMX is here to back you up. And I got that goal from you.
I love that. I absolutely love that, because we need more people like that. And not just in a local music scene, but just in life. And I do know that you have at least one show that focuses on mental health and uplifting each other. And I don't know if you know that, but that's actually one of our kind of back end ideas at First Angel. We, whenever there's not a pandemic and everybody's shut in, every spring we have Saved by the Scene, where we raise funds to go towards mental health awareness, because I'm certain that, creatives especially, we tend to have depression or anxiety or all kinds of things going on inside of our mind, and it's making the connections with others that can sometimes literally save a life. So we just need more support in the world, and I'm really happy to see you do that kind of thing.
And originally, that's why, like, once again, it comes back to you. You came into my life out of nowhere. You took time away from what you were doing in your family to sit down and talk to me and walk with beside me instead of in front of me. And that made a whole lot of a difference. And that made me think, well, I want BTMX to be the way I'm being taught. Because I believe everyone has a gift to give to the world. Why not give it? And then, but at the same time, a lot of people are stuck because either their surroundings or how they were taught to grow up, or they just don't feel like a person. So that's why I created the show Karen Share, so people can come and have a place to vent and talk without judgment. And it was, once again, it leads back to how you were teaching me, how you treated me. That's why I wanted to make sure there was a place that people could come who don't have people to talk to or can't talk a certain way, so they use music. And I wanted to create Karen Share, to not only just focus on the mental awareness, but also be a mental, release point. Basically, somewhere you can come and release all the stress off your chest, and know that there is automatically a place where you're not alone. And that's what you
Yeah.
taught me.
I I mean, a lot of people wouldn't realize it now, but at the beginning of First Angel, I mean, a lot of people thought I was nuts. And a lot of people thought that it would fail. And they, I had a lot of supporters, and then I had a lot of people who told me that I had these sunshine and lollipop dreams. But I mean, there's over 30 people now involved with First Angel Media, and we're announcing things. Actually, I'll probably be slightly announcing them tonight, but throughout the next 6 weeks, we'll be announcing various things that we're going to be doing that we've been setting up behind the scenes during the pandemic and all of this insanity. Um, but what it comes down to is there are so many people out there who are extraordinarily talented, and all that they really need is somebody to believe in them. I mean, that's kind of all that I needed. Along with Bill and Lee, I had my friends, Jerry and Julia Mulligan. And Jerry's one of those wonderfully upfront people who won't let an idea go. Like, if he's certain that you need to do this, he will keep. And I was taking just cell phone photos at their shows. And he was like, there's something about those photos. I don't know. You need to get a camera. And like every so often, he'd kind of like nudge, nudge, get a camera. And finally, it was like, you know what? All right, what's it going to hurt? And here I am. I am the photographer for his band Winner's Descent. All these years later, I get hired for weekend shows. And I found like this whole new outlet that, my friends, he wasn't the only one. My friend Eric Corin from Slide, they're closer to my neck of the woods, but he also, has always been there for me. He was the first band I actually ever shot with Slide. And it's people like that who have been supportive, who have actually, come up to me and said, "You're doing great," or, "Hey, I think you might be going the wrong way with this. What do you think?" Sometimes it's the people that care about you. They need to step up and say, "Well, I see what you're doing and I get it, but I don't know if that's where you want to go." You know, I've had a ton of people in my life who have been there for me, and even now, you know, uh, Joe, he's better known online as Raven, and Mad Clock, who was recently on another of your shows. Nate, we have a group because they're my leads in the writing department, and I'll throw out an idea, and if they don't like it, I mean, they're nice about it. They're not rude. But they'll straight up tell me, "I don't know if that's really where we wanna go." Today, even Joe was like, "Well, I'm trying to get us likes. I'm not so worried about the reach thing," and it was like, "Okay, if you're not worried about the reach thing, then we'll do something else there." We we were just kinda it's great to work with people who I don't like yes men, I don't like yes people, who just, "Oh, sure, she's nuts." I like it whenever I can trust and value people's opinions, and whenever they'll actually be true friends and tell me if I'm doing well and tell me if I'm screwing up.
And that was the nice thing about you too, because you didn't just like talk down to me when I didn't know what I was doing. You basically simply, you don't want to do it. If you want to do it that way, you can, but that's on you. Do you want to be successful and do it the right way? And that's the nice thing. That's what I picked up, and I carry my teachings. We do it. I have an amazing team, but I stick to the way you and Bill and everybody worked with me. It's you either stick with this and you be honest with me, or I just don't got time for you. But
I actually think that you happen to walk into some of the best people because I know that you did work with Bill, you did work with Patrick over at Brutal Business. You just ended up finding yourself surrounded by some of the people that I consider some of the best in the business, not just because of their professionalism, but because they do care about people. They do care about helping you do it the right way. So I think that you ended up with some really great people on your side. And you were saying Silhouette Death. I will say right now that the promo video you guys put out for me, I was watching that and I'm like, I don't know who she is, but she looks really cool. She looks like I'm like looking at it myself, like I'm not that cool. I don't deserve that big of an intro, but oh my gosh, he did an amazing job. And then for him to say that was actually his song on the promo, like that, he's talented. He's so talented. That's amazing.
see, the nice thing about Solo at Death is he actually started that whole project when I found him.
Oh wow,
And then
really?
yeah, he started that project when I found him last year. It's been a year now that he's had Solo at Death up, and this the beginning of this year he became my business partner. So
You're paying it forward. I love that. That is one of my favorite things in the world. You're finding people and their talents and you're paying it forward by making certain that they get their talents out there too. I love that. We need more of that in the world and especially the music scene.
see, and like I said, it all leads back how you were talking to me, how you checked in on me, how when we were first starting, and that's what it meant. So that's what we do with our team. I built my team, and what I want everyone to understand is BTMX, even though we have signed artists and signed models, we're just a foundation for these people to find themselves and succeed at past us. And that's why now we have Soul Snatchers. They have their own fan club. We have the gaming for Shadow Squad with Rayman, and everyone is doing fantastic. But they're growing by themselves while still being attached to us. And I learned that from watching First Angel Media with like Build the Scene and the other projects that you guys do. You're always uplifting somebody, and then they go far, but they remember where they came from. And that's what I wanted to do.
I actually kind of have to give a shout out on that. Not too long ago, I came across this young man named Fernando de la Cruz, and he was just starting into video work and cinematography. And he needed some exposure. He needed to just kind of like work a little bit. And Fernando just signed to direct a movie that will be on Amazon Prime. So, like, that's only been, I think, 3 years since he started video. And I couldn't be more proud whenever I see people that I know, just taking the initiative and flying with it, like you. And Bill, he had just the podcast. And then, during all of this, we were like, what we are seeing need, fill a need people. So Bill Damiano, in case anyone wonders, that's his full name, Bill Damiano at Build the Scene. And he did have the PA Rock Show podcast, but through his desire to fill a need, he created Build the Scene, which I am proud to be an admin at. And we're kind of VPs of each other's companies. He is definitely VP of First Angel, but so you can find kind of like BTMX. You will see he's got local artists from Pittsburgh playing all the time. He has the PA Rock Show is still a valuable podcast on there, but he also started Three Questions in a Song since he had already branded for PA only. 3QS is a very shortened version for people who are like me and have attention issues. It's only about 15-20 minutes. But it's interesting. The guest from one show will ask a question of the guest coming up on the next show. And he also has pretty much every music podcast, every music related podcast you could imagine listed. He's got various events that he works with listed. It's become kind of a music scene hub for Pittsburgh. And I kind of see you doing that as well. I noticed that the more you add and the more you grow, you're also becoming a hub for your area and into Pittsburgh.
Yeah, we have a lot of Pittsburgh artists, like that we talked to, besides like Steve and because of Patrick from Brutal Business Entertainment. We still count you as a sponsor too. Every time they see our sponsorship, make sure First Angel, that media is seen, that symbol is seen on almost every show I do. We also got the Brutal Business Entertainment, but we've also talked to other bands that are local for Pittsburgh. Actually, 74% of our fans are from the Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania area.
That is really a large number for because you're mostly Ohio based, correct? Most of you live within Ohio.
Actually, right now we have 3 members that live in Ohio, and then the rest. My business partner actually covers the West Side because he lives in Colorado, and then we also have another part of our team who lives down in Oklahoma. So we kind of cover all sides. And we also take bands from globally too, different artists from out of the country, and bring them on the show as well.
That's great. That is awesome. No, it's wonderful that you kept building. You didn't just stop with the shows. You didn't just stop with the station. You're still going. And I see you have a model department. We were talking about that actually before we went live. And that is something that First Angel gets to announce very soon, is we are working with a collection of amazing men and women, and we are doing merchandise shoots. The models are able to be hired for shoots, for videos, and we've got people with various talents, from burlesque dancing to belly dancing to, I do believe that one of the ladies is looking at fire play. And we have Mad Clock, Mr. Nathaniel himself. He is one of our models. So we have him, and we have Jay Asadi, who, if you haven't heard of the man, you need to. He is simply amazing. My favorite track personally is Mr. Sinister. And then we've also got Mr. Randall Cole, who is another one of our models. He is also signed to Brutal Business Entertainment with his band Feast on the Fallen. We that BBE comes up a lot. We're kind of I definitely hope that I don't offend anyone here. Our companies are kind of like inbred cousins. We do our own thing, but we mix and match enough that like everybody is kind of like just one big family. All your cousins and sisters and everybody shows up, and you're just like, "Hi, going? Oh, you're with them? Okay, yeah, you're family." And of course, I've done work with their beautiful models, the babes of BBE. And actually, we just shot, the 3 of them did a gorgeous shoot, I should say, because we did several things that you'll see on Mad Clock's upcoming album, uh, Devils Never Cry. And I mean, it's out there circulating now. Those ladies are absolutely gorgeous. They're just as gorgeous as the wonderful women and men that I work with. And I have to see your roster for models too, because like I got to see who all you're working with. Who knows? We may become the inbred cousins too. You never know.
And
But,
and the nice thing that you mentioned that, because after we get done with our weekend photo shoot that we have over in North Bloomfield, we actually are going to have at least 5 models, 3 guys, 2 females.
wonderful.
So, and you guys are going to get to meet them. They are actually already have a merch line through us and stuff like that. They're going to be modeling their own merch. So,
Nice.
so that's nice of them. We have some gothic scenes set up, some nature scenes. So definitely, I can't wait for you to see that, especially, because I'm the one that actually does the photography and all the editing and all that. And who also does all the editing is also my business partner, once again, Dead Dreams, because, he's just amazing with what he can do. So that's why it was so good to actually pick him up, because he's so talented, and he's also like I am. We wanted to make this family based. So, like a lot of people talk about when they have a podcast, welcome fans and subscribers. To me, we say welcome family, because we don't want people viewing us thinking it's just another show. We want them to understand that they have the power and the love from us just by simply spending a couple minutes watching us. And we might not know them personally, but we try to accept everyone, no matter if we're having fun or not. And once again, that all leads back to how you treated us. And to be honest, half the artists I go out and talk to, or I even try to share, I make sure first comes from First Angel Media. So every time First Angel Media puts up a post about a band, I make sure I'm the first person there to share it.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Yeah, I think the only thing that we're doing slightly differently is that the people that we're working with, see, we're not actually signing on models. What we've put together is, I believe that Alicia said that that is called a talent group. So people may come and go. We will have our basic models, but it is all about sharing, uplifting, giving each other more opportunities. We already work with the female models, already have, oh, I forgot, Joe Barrett is also one of our male models. He would kill me if I forgot him because he was kind enough to even do a video for me. But but the women actually already have they're already doing amazing on their own. Alicia is Sunday Service on Facebook and Instagram. And then we are working with the talented Miss Red and the amazing Bella Rotten, the young women that you have already had on your show recently. So people have already that have been watching your show already know about them, and they're they're amazing people. They're wonderful to work with, and just as people, they are just I am so proud to work with them. They're amazing, seriously. Um, you may see Bella with a little inside joke on the video that we'll play after this. And the joke is always, that I almost put a spell on her. I didn't really. But it's a little inside strange. It was a very strange way to begin a friendship, but she is one of the most level-headed and yet emotionally sensitive people I've ever met. She sees things for exactly how they are, and Miss Red does as well. And she talk about talent you were saying with Silhouette Death. She does photography. She does you know, all kinds of graphic design. Um, I know I've seen her work for Nine Stitch Method and various shoots with the Babes of Brutal Business. And she kind of rounded out another announcement that we're going to be making soon on our own page. We have now officially become a one stop shop for everything music related except for recording. The only thing that we do not do is audio.
So the nice thing about you saying that is actually we started off, like you said, as a podcast, Now we are actually an entertainment company. We actually have artists signed with us and models, and we mix and master music by ourselves. We also do all the CD print and all their merch in house.
There we go then. So we do everything. We do website design. We do the photography. Obviously, we've got several photographers. We do videography for everything from live shows all the way to full length music videos. We do logo design. We do branding. We do, you name it, you can get it. And then it sounds like what we don't do, you do. Well, there we go. That's the connection. And that's where we're going to start being like step uncles to each other.
Yeah, Joseph over in the comments said, I'm going to read some of the comments off to you because I've been ignoring them for a while. There's a lot. But, you have Bill in here, so, saying that, hi, he's talking. He's very, you said what you said about him earlier. He's like, who, me? He is an amazing man to work with because I've worked alongside him and Jana at the same time. Especially when I was very young in this and didn't know programming or none of that or how to do this. And trust me, they were holding an infant's hand with a mic. But
Look where you've gone. Look where you've gone with it.
Yep. And then you got you mentioned Jessica's in here. She's supporting what you're doing. You got Anthony in here, Sarah, Joseph's are always in most of my shows because I'm constantly I'm a fan of his writing. I make sure everyone sees it. But he said, don't forget Jay Assad, which she didn't. She mentioned him earlier. Still, like, I didn't even know who he was until First Angel Media actually started mentioning stuff about him.
You're going to be seeing a lot more about him on First Angel because, he's, while we're not a record label or anything like that, we are a media company. And I want to put out as much media as possible for that man because, okay, first off, he's got the cutest little baby boy you've ever seen. Okay, I have to say that. As a mother, I have to say that. Um, his, his wonderful family joined us for a recent model shoot. And so I really got to see him as a person. And he is a wonderful person. He is a firm believer in family and not just his own family, but the family like us surrounding him. But that man's talented. Like, I'm not normally a huge fan of most rap music. I can appreciate it. But, then again, there's Hollywood Undead, and I'm kind of a huge fan of theirs. So, but but his stuff, I mean, I play it with other people around because his stuff is on my playlist. So it's constantly on rotation. And if it's playing while one of my friends is over, they'll be like, whoa, whoa, who is this? And they assume that it's a national artist. So if you haven't seen his stuff yet, please, please, please look him up. It is JJAE Asadi, ASADI. And you've just got to see what this man does. And he constantly puts out wonderfully inspirational things. He's one of those hidden gems that whenever I started First Angel, I wanted to find.
And that's the nice thing about this, too, because that's what we try to do here at BTMX. Always shine a light on the people that are hidden. And, like, when I first heard his music, I was amazed. Because I've never heard anything like that, you guys never really shared a rapper. Unless it was from Brutal Business Entertainment. And when I heard him, I was amazed. I actually thought, I had to look in more to him. So if you guys do not know who he is, pay attention to the BTMX page. We have shared his music, his content, his links, what he's done with First Angel Media. If you don't know anything about First Angel Media, then you're not paying attention to BTMX's page because we share their content every time it comes out.
Well, there will definitely be a place. We are in the final stages of updating the website because we have just come to a point where the simplistic website layout that we have can't contain as much as what we do. Um, so we are updating the website design over the next few weeks to include everything that we're doing with the models. We have a new podcast in the works. I don't know if I am supposed to be saying anything, but it may have something to do with Mr. Mad Clock. And we're finding new ways to generate content over the summer. I do believe that you will be able to see more content from the models after we announce them. There is a very different lifestyle for those of us in this scene. I think one of the things I did tell you in the beginning is you will eat, sleep, and breathe this lifestyle. And I'm pretty certain I was not proven wrong.
No, it's amazing to have this opportunity, this job, and to be growing. But at the same time, if you look away, it's like a small child. Oh no, what is it into now?
And so you'll be seeing content, videos, writing, and I am hoping to develop a show with the models on our YouTube channel to kind of talk about what it's like living inside of this crazy world where some people have day jobs, some people have, two jobs, and then we come home and we work all over again. And it's a labor of love. And I am very lucky that this First Angel is my job. It is my full time job. But I get up at 6 a.m. and I start downing coffee to try to be awake enough to stay up until midnight again, looking over things. I've taken courses, I've taken, I don't know if you've ever heard of launch, but whenever they do it again, you might want to try it out because it's for people like us trying to learn all the stuff in the scene. And we're constantly on the go, go, go. And this is a whole different world from, you know, I have worked in factories and not been a part of the music scene. I have been a stay-at-home mom. This is a constant get up and go, push yourself type of life, and these models, the men and women at First Angel Media, will be talking to you about what it's like to balance all of that, what it's like to try to generate the energy to continue this kind of a path. I misread. She and her family were joking with me because I said that we'll kind of be the dark version of Better Homes and Gardens. We don't need to know, what shade blue is in this spring. We need to know how in the world do you hide the bags under your eyes whenever you've been awake for 72 hours trying to work. um, but so there's going to be a whole new lifestyle section added in. We're going to have sections for the upcoming podcast. We're going to have we're reviving some of the weekly features that we did. If you don't know Anthony, who is also a writer over at the Gruesome Gazette, you guys ought to check that out. If you like horror, he is the man to tell you what movies to watch because he has like movies on there. I thought I had watched all of them. He's got movies on there I've never in my life heard of. And he's an amazing writer. You can catch his feature, the Muse articles that we do. They're a video article every Friday. And he finds some amazing artists. He really does. Like, after he got in the groove on it, I just let him go. It is completely his own section of the world because he's just an amazing person. He finds amazing content and brings us people from all over You will find Joseph's article, Artists Uncovered, on Mondays. And because we're so busy, but obviously everybody does have limited time, Joe goes through all of our stuff in the email, which we get so many emails per day. And he will collect as much as possible from all over the world, all types of genres, in order to get them out there to our audience. And you were saying that we hadn't really done rap, and we want to, because we have been very heavy metal and very rock centered, but that's who sends us stuff in. So if you're out there and you're listening to this, we don't care what genre you are. You're welcome. We have artists from, the biggest one I go to is Finland, because for some reason there is a lot of Finnish black metal out there. Um, I think that the latest one that I saw was actually like Finnish folk black metal, which I didn't get to hear, but I definitely want to check that out.
Yeah.
Um,
And the nice thing about you talking about him writing those articles, like my most, like watching him write, the article that got me to become a fan of his for his writing is the one that he did with Ritual of Ether. And if you guys don't know who Ritual of Ether is, go look out Shehead Entertainment. They are a phenomenal roster of people. He did an article with Ritual of Ether, and it went so in depth that it kept you reading. There was no boring part to that whatsoever. So I was,
yeah.
I'm a big fan of his, what he writes and how he gets into the artists and their points across. So
He's amazing. One thing that he does, and he does it well, because some of our writers will be like, I think I could stretch myself to there. But Joe stays within the music that he himself is passionate about. And I feel that everything he writes, the passion comes through whenever he writes the articles. You can truly feel it. Like you said, you read it and you just keep reading. And whenever it's over, you're like, oh, I didn't, where'd the time go? The same can be said about Nate. His articles, he's got this, just, you can almost feel him like, yes, in some of these articles with some of this music that he has checked out. Going back to the band that I do photography for, Winter's Descent just recently put out a new single, and they're releasing an album soon. And Nate was the one that I tapped in order to do their review. And I loved it because I love these guys. Like, I'm close with them, but I've known them all now for like 5 years. Boy, I can't believe I've been in this business this long, but I've known them for 5 years. And every year they have tried to get better, but with this new release, you know, sometimes you think someone has reached the top of what they're capable of, and then you're just shocked because somehow they went over it. Somehow they busted through whatever that plateau was, or that glass ceiling was for them. And Winter's Descent definitely did it with fortune.
now talking about that band, I've seen a lot of the photos you've done with it, and that's what gave me an inspiration to go back into photography. Like the way you take pictures of that band, every picture you tells a complete story. Like you can see the fans in their eyes sometimes when you take a picture of their face, not just the
That's
lighting. And that's amazing how well you are able to capture certain bands in the right moments. So you can tell the passion that you have behind. It's not just you clicking a button; it's actually looking, and to be able to look through your eyes is amazing. The way that you go ahead and share that gift with the world, let it alone be bands or models.
that's one thing that I think is crazy about photography, is whenever I started to do it, because I'm a writer. I've always been a writer. and sometimes on the page, not my personal page. I'm switching everything over to the page, Jana Lima Chica, because I have too many people that follow me just for that. And to be honest, while I love sharing my life with people, I'd rather my personal life, my children, the things that I do on the daily, and possibly the cat that is about to interrupt us, only be shared with people that I'm actually, closer with. And I have a few thousand followers. I'm not trying to say that I'm a big deal, but people like my photos and they like my writing. And so I've switched everything over there to the page Jana Lima Chica so that I can share all of that. But whenever I began with photography, I didn't understand how some people can do these photos that they truly make you feel. And then what I've come to understand is that the strange thing about photography is that you feel the emotions almost are imprinted onto the photos from the photographer. It's a moment, like you said, it's a snapshot in our minds. It's our feelings, it's our moment, and there are times whenever I look back on the photos, I think it's why live photography is one of my favorite things because I feel that moment all over again. Looking over at the guitarist headbanging or that perfect frozen moment in time of the vocalist on their knees screaming into the microphone, and the emotions almost overcome you, and in that moment, you hit the button, and somehow it's like magic. Your emotions are now on film.
We do got some more comments. Joseph said yes, thank you. Bella Rotten is going to be doing a special promo shoot for a ritual of ether. So
Yes.
that's amazing. And then
Well,
Matt
looking forward.
Matt Bunch said, "Hey, who Matt Bunch is? He's actually White Owl Official. He's an up and coming rapper, very talented.
Nice.
Matt, if you're watching still, please go over to First Angel Media and do an interview with Joseph. Definitely get your story out there. I think that would matter a lot more to your fans. I mean, you do have amazing music, but let your story be told. And then my business partner, who's watching us over on YouTube, says that one of the hardest things is to keep your personal life separated from being an artist. So he understands.
Yeah, it is one of the hardest things, and it's something I've kind of fought with because I'm just Jonah. I'm not, I don't really consider myself like there are people who set out to be influencers or there are people who set out to be
You're just a
one thing.
muse. You're a muse.
I'm just me. And I just if the photos and the things that I write and the little life advice things that I do make someone a little bit happier in their day or let them know that somebody else understands. I'm not trying to have a page because I think I'm all that. It's just that if that's why people follow me, I'd rather they go over there so that I can show pictures of my cat laying across my lap and not feel weird about it because, 3,000 strangers are also seeing that.
So Bill says, laugh out loud. I hope she tells the story about our conversation about the influencer. Ha ha ha.
So, I've always told Bill, well, there have been instances, many people have tried to swoop in and save the music scene. And there is this idea of gatekeepers. And I have always kind of gotten, I'm not gonna say angry. I just kind of feel a little whenever people start talking about gatekeepers because anybody that I have ever met that someone thought was a gatekeeper was actually some really inflated person that really just wanted to work with their friends. And I felt that people kind of threw that term around kind of like the boogeyman. The gatekeepers keep us from doing things. And I'm like, what people need to start recognizing is the influencers. The people that whenever you meet up with them, they will support you. They will believe in you. And they have taken the time to learn to the point where they can help others. They throw out their hand to pull other people up to the next level. And I was talking to Bill one day. We were just like kind of talking about this whole concept, and he's like, "You realize that you kind of just described us and a few of the people that we know." And I'm like, "Well, because that's what it's supposed to be." And even like you with BTMX, you're becoming an influencer in your scene because you are finding a way to reach out to the people to bring them up into light, to give them what you felt is was needed for you to get ahead. And as long as more of us become influencers in that way, as long as we influence for the good, as long as we're there to support each other no matter what, and have each other's backs because we know other good people, we know other positive people when we see them. Those are the kind of influencers music scenes need, especially on the local level. And if there are more influencers like all of us. And I'm talking about the people at First Angel in every division. I'm talking about Bill. I'm talking about my friends Jerry, Julia, Jason. I'm talking about Patrick and Rebecca over at Brutal Business. The more of us that are out there supporting the hell out of each other, the better everybody's going to be. We come up together.
And that's a good point to like say because another thing I've learned that you warned me about is sometimes when you're working with certain artists, there's not always nice artists. They kind of get kind of mean sometimes, but like I try to tell every new artist, even if like think about it, Solo Death started last year, the same time he joined with BTMX. Now look at him. He like at some point in the beginning of the year, he was actually the main seller of his distribution company for that month. So phenomenal talents out there. Just I think a lot of people can't see it past their everyday life to see greatness in other people. I think it's just too comforting to go ahead and cast judgment. And when I tell every artist, well, let it be whatever genre I'm playing, it doesn't matter if I don't like it. I don't like it, but it doesn't mean that there's 60 people behind me that are in love with what they're doing. So don't give up. And once again, that's all rooted from back when you were teaching me. I wanted to keep this message alive. And no matter how big and how famous BTMX gets, that will always be our goal, to reach out to everyone, not just the people that are in the light. We want to reach to the people that are hidden in the dark, hiding behind themselves in everyday life. We want them to know that they can be seen. So,
And I fully agree with that. We've actually had those discussions recently because we're getting a lot more semi-nationals reaching out to us. We've had like I'm not certain if you know who the Darkness is over in the UK, but they've become like the biggest thing over there. Right before everything shut down, they had reached out to us. Um, we have, red jumpsuit apparatus will throw things for us to, go over, review, put out for them. We're really for, as small of a company as we technically are, because we're definitely not the, Revolver, we're not the Rolling Stone. Um, but we do things on a very professional level. My cat is attacking something over there, so if you hear a little like, please pardon the kitten. But we do things on a professional level, and we have garnered all of this more national attention. We have artists coming in from all over the world. We have submissions coming in from record labels and PR companies all over the world. But the reason First Angel was started was because I believe that at least 50% of the bands out there that I have seen that are local level musicians could easily be put on a stage the same size with all of the effects as the national artists and be mistaken for a national artist. I mean, there's just too much talent out there in the local scene. There are a lot of individuals out there fighting for them to get them as much as possible, and I appreciate the crap out of that. But, they need as many of us as possible, um, especially our scenes, and I hate to say that, but Ohio, PA, other than certain hotspots, even in Pittsburgh, with as much music as there is in Pittsburgh, it's still considered a sports town, and I will never understand how people don't see it as both. Um, there's a venue on practically every corner. If you really look at the beginning of all of this, I used to take myself out to dinner, grab up a drink, and walk around town, and a lot of people thought I was nuts for that, but from doing that, I found hidden cafes with jazz artists. Light Up Night has several stages playing. The Steelers are great. The Penguins are great, but you don't see them performing in the middle of Light Up Night. So, oh, and there she is. Lizzie, here. She's trying to make her appearance. She wants to know who I'm talking to.
So,
Oh,
Solo at Death's my partner. He's still watching over on YouTube. He said there's a difference between being cocky and being educated, in what way, and what you can do, especially if we're already been through it. And then Bill said, ask her about XRP radio, and Solo at Death said, especially being humble with people that are willing to help you.
so I completely agree with Silhouette Death. I absolutely do. She's sneaking up on me. There are a lot of people out there who have ego is good, but whenever you allow your ego to take over and you believe that you are right no matter what, then you're making a huge mistake. And like you said earlier, don't be mean to the people trying to help you. Just don't.
It's like
There's no reason.
it's really like that old saying, like, don't bite the hand that feeds you, because especially if you're a band that maybe has only 120 followers, and I'm going, well, I have 2,000 followers, I think you're amazing, I want the world to know you, then you're like, oh, well, I don't want to do the interview this way, I want to do it that way. Well, okay, and I go out of my way, and I'm like, okay, I'll do it this way. No, I don't like that. By now, I'm like, okay, now I don't have time. There's other people that have talent that you're taking time from. Have you had this issue?
And I think that's whenever I told you that you have no choice then but to say, you know what, my way or the highway. Because we have set up our shows, we have set up our things, we have set up our programs according to what our audience will listen to, what our audience will pay attention to, the times whenever they're around. And somebody comes in and tries to change the whole thing, and it's not going to help them as much, and it becomes a huge issue for us. I've had that happen, and I have learned that putting my foot down, like, it's funny, I've always kind of been a little bit of a doormat my entire life. I'm a very fierce doormat, don't get me wrong. I have a temper, but, I tend to let people push me because I'm like, "Oh, I understand, I understand." Um, But owning First Angel, I have definitely learned to be like, nope, bye bye. You know, no, I don't want to deal with you. I have 10 other artists and you're making this way too hard. You know, if you don't want to send me the stuff because you want to send it to me in a format I can't use, I've given you the instructions, follow them. It would be the same as if you're going to hire in somebody to fill in for a gig. You know, if you're going to a show and you need a bassist for the night and the bassist shows up and says, "Well, I don't want to play it that way," are you going to keep them? You know, I mean, we all have our reasons for doing what we do. And this is our creativity, but it's also our business. And I feel that also as far as like the mean people in the scene, there are some jerks out there. And I used to feel really bad if I just said, "You are not getting my time. You are not taking up any residence in my mind. You are not worth my stress level going up," and blocking them or being very real with them. And, you know, now I don't have any problem with that at all. And maybe it, Lizzie, maybe it is seen as being mean, but the truth is, it saves me so much stress. And these people would not be people that I would want in my life anyway. I kind of treat Facebook the way that I do my real life now. You know, if you can't be a decent person, you can't be in my life. So blocked, unfriended, whatever it takes. And if situations change later on, I find out that everything, you know, you have really changed and become fine. We can be friends again. But Facebook takes up, as you know, as all of the artists out there know, Facebook takes up too much of our time already. I'm not on it to fight with people.
And like you're trying to say though it's upsetting. Yeah, I'm not upset because how what they want. I'm upset because either they want the interview or not. And to me, it's not that they're just taking up my time. It's me. I could have found an artist that really needs this, that could have been on my show and got where he wanted next week. And to me, that's not fair to other artists who actually want and crave and bleed for what they do. That's why I'm so glad to work with artists from Brutal Business Entertainment like Magclock and Patrick from Nine Stitch Method and Seath and etc. I love working, I love helping artists like White Owl Official who didn't have a name and they're trying to gain their name. I love to be a part of that journey just like how you were for us. I started off with an idea, you held me by my hand, now look where I'm at. And that's what we want to do with artists. When we sign artists to us, I have the same concept with them. It's either you want to be successful or not. We build your beats, we build your music, we'll make your music videos, etc., etc. But for us to put that much work into you, you have to be willing to do it as well. And if you just don't want it, don't waste nobody's time. Don't be mad about it and come on one of our other shows and complain about it. Just shut up.
No, I completely agree. And I mean, one of the reasons that we're so close with Brutal Business is because the artists over there, number one, give us an outlet to put out more types of genres. Um, you know, I believe actually Nine Stitch Method was the very first metal band ever signed to Brutal Business, if I have my history correct. Um, because at the time Patrick was actually working at First Angel whenever he signed with them. And I remember how proud he was. And now I see him adding all kinds of various artists. I know I am gonna mess up this guy's name. I know I am. But I want to say it's stats one. Okay, is it static? Is that like how it, because Nate told me about him and he's like, "Have you listened to this guy yet?" And I'm like, "Well, no, but I know if he's part of BBE that he's, you know, out there." Every artist at BBE, they're how okay, how do the young people say it? They're grinding? Is that it? Is there on that? I'm really bad at lingo. I'm sorry.
He's
Um,
on the grind.
okay. And but all of the artists over there will take every opportunity to put their music out. They will take every chance to play a show. They want this. And it's not just the desire, but every one of them has a fire in their music. They're talented individuals who want to be heard. Um, and I love the music that comes out of there. So the professionalism, the talent, and the desire for coverage. We have that with artists at First Angel. I see it with Brutal Business artists. And okay, you brought up Seethe. I mean, I know that Patrick was already a part of Nine Stitch Method, and I love Nine Stitch Method. But whenever he took a step over into covering just his emotions, when there was no one else involved, and he became Seethe, he took on a whole other level of music, and I don't know how to put it. He has come up, especially vocally, uh, since I first heard him in Nine Stitch Method. And there is a dark seriousness behind it. I always used to joke that he was a beast on stage in Nine Stitch, but yeah, on Seethe, it's just kind of like he took Brutal Business to heart.
Yeah,
He
and
became brutal.
the new CD that's about to be dropped on April 23rd, Departure. Like that's a whole new side of Seath I have never heard. Like the song Picnic, like I've never seen that much emotion in Seath songs up until this album, which I'm really surprised and grateful for.
Well, I think that is, I've always felt the emotion whenever I was listening to Nine Stitch, but Seethe, it's like he just completely unwrapped whatever was holding it. The dam burst. And the power, the vocal techniques, the way he lays the vocals over the tracks, it just all comes together in a very powerful and emotional surge. And so like that's the kind of stuff that I really love to see. Whenever someone can take themselves in a new direction that, like, I don't know, seems to have been there all along. Something simply triggered it. Something finally pulled back and let go. And you see that happen. I've seen that happen with artists. Again, there's Descent. Watching them just go completely over the top. I know what those guys poured into their single Fortune. I know what they've poured into this album coming out. I know what Mad Clock has poured into his album coming up. I mean, whenever I see these people that find a way to unleash this entire other side of themselves and let their passion and their talent flow, I can't help but get caught up in that. And I don't care what level of music they are. I want it and I want more of it.
And it's,
You know,
I'm glad you said that because like I'm glad that you were able to hear Soul at Death, because he's picked up since I know you've been busy. We talk here and there, but he's kind of like when I fell down and I don't feel like BTMX is going to go anywhere. He's like, wait a second, you created a platform for me, for artists that don't have a voice to be heard. Why would you take that away? And he's constantly having us motivated. We constantly have new shows. We work together. We agree on things. And he's got me into making beats now, which I actually make our own music that we use most of the time. He's got me going back into art and singing and stuff like that. So he's getting me back into the artist part of myself I was when I was younger. It's just phenomenal to have people that are so talented, but it's so sad at the same time that there's not more venues out there like us, places for them to come so the world can actually see them.
I think that it is important though that like on the new website, one difference about it is that I will have a place for links to other pages like yours, Brutal Business, obviously Build the Scene. Everything I do, Build the Scene goes with. Um, but there's I don't know how many people have heard of it, but there's 41 Tunes by Bat Trish. And she is an amazing young woman who just wants to help the scene. She does video editing, she does reaction videos. Um, I they're out there. But one of the reasons why Bill actually started Build the Scene was because it's too hard to find people like us who really are rooting for them. And maybe, just maybe, if people come across that on a site, my site at the bottom also has links out. Start the Beat with Sykes podcast, various things. And if more of us promote each other in that way, then we can help to promote the entire scene as well, so that at least the platforms out there like ours can help who can find us, you know?
And that's
And
like it was.
music stuff.
Sorry, go ahead. I didn't mean to cut you off. I didn't. I was trying
No,
to read.
no, no. I talk a lot.
You're good. So the next thing I want to go ahead and talk about is how you keep talking about how we promote each other, and that's the reason why I wanted to get into entertainment, because not just is the music scene hurting, but there's amazing artists out there, dancers, models, women who just don't believe in themselves. But if they actually had a photo, like you said, you didn't think you would look like that in our promo. And that's the whole thing about BTMX. We're about building people up, because there's enough in the world to tear us down. We need more places to build us up. So when I see photos for First Angel Media or an article, I make sure I share it, because that's building people up. When I see Bill online on building the scene, I share it because it's building people up. It's all about building people, and that's why I created. I wanted BTMX to be breaking the mold, because I wanted to break the mold. I was tired of seeing perfection. I wanted to see something that was hidden. So, and like I said, all of my inspiration for how we grew and how we're trying to keep the motto of the business came from you. To have you know that means a lot from us. That's why BTMX went out of our way and got a hold of your team, the people that you work close with, your friends and family, if we could, and have them submit videos to us telling our fans how much you mean to them, and then you guys will get to see that in her promo at the end of the interview. But I want to truly say that I am blessed to have you in our life. And on BTMX, our whole entire team wants to say thank you, because if it wasn't for a simple couple of days of you sitting and talking to me, I would not have the rest of the team I have now. I wouldn't have my amazing business partner, my amazing team captain of my gaming, the two girls from Soul Snatchers. I wouldn't have Michaela doing makeup. It all came simply from spending time with you.
That means the world to me. Thank you. Um, I have only recently started actually being vulnerable enough to say that I have spent most of my life feeling like I was not enough. It's funny, the events of the last year have sort of changed that. Um, a few things happened that made me realize what I deserve in life, and that I don't have to be afraid of not being enough, because apparently I am. I have people who love me. Um, I have people who are there for me, and whether it's a small circle or not, I'm just gonna keep doing me. I'm just gonna keep, trying to support people, try to be there for people, try to understand people. And I came to a conclusion that life isn't fair and it can be painful. But I have always had this idea of life is kind of like stained glass, or we are kind of like stained glass. Actually, that was the original name of my photography page, was stained glass concepts, because my view of the human condition is that we're all kind of locked away in these rooms, and it's just a big glass window out to everyone else. The only one who really knows what happens inside of these rooms is us, and then what we see outside. But events in life will eventually break that glass. For some of it, it only cracks. For some of it, you know, there are chips in it. And for some of us out there, that glass shatters inward and we are exposed, and when you're exposed to the world in that way, it's too much. And if that happens to you, then you kind of find yourself at a crossroads. Do you become jaded and angry and lash out at the world, or do you rebuild the glass in front of you? But when you pick up that glass, your hands are going to bleed and your tears are going to fall and you are going to stain that glass with all of your emotions and everything that you are. But the great thing about that is that you take all of those irregular pieces and you make a new for yourself, and you make a new way to view the world and a new way to show it who you are. And you take all that darkness that you find inside of you now, and you put that glass back in a piece at a time, and you will end up finding yourself surrounded by stained glass, but you will have a beautifully broken view of the world. And that glass will shine, and other people who need it will see that there's another way than just simply lashing out. So that's kind of my whole concept on life. And I think that for the first time, while I've always felt that I lived it, I think that for the first time in this last year has allowed me to truly embrace it in all of its broken and amazing detail.
So everything you're saying, everybody needs to apply to your life. Because I'm telling you, if you listen to this woman and being able to work beside her, it's just amazing. You feel like you have to create. That's why I call you the muse. But on top of it, this is what I think a lot of people watching that know you and have worked with you will agree with this. You're not that footprint in the sand that gets washed away. You're the ocean, all never ending, always around us, always helping us support our way of life. You're just that amazing to everybody that you come in contact with. So always remember that, even when you're down.
Thank you.
Um,
Thank you very much.
so I want to thank you so much for coming on to our show with us. I want to thank you for taking the time out and letting me tell you how thankful that we all are. And I just want to, I just want to tell you that. And if there's any questions from the audience, please go ahead and try to ask them now. But thank you so much, really.
I thank you. I really appreciate the chance to sit here and rattle my thoughts out. But I really feel appreciated, and I think we all need that from time to time. And I can't tell you how much I've looked forward to this and how thankful I am that you have me on. It's kind of funny, not a whole lot of people think to interview me, think to talk with me. Maybe it's because I talk too much, I don't know. But I've truly enjoyed this. Thank you.
All right, since there's no comments, we're going to go ahead and let you go, but we want you to know that we keep you in our thoughts. We keep First Angel Media definitely on anything that you can follow up with. They can find right there over there on our BTMX page. Your models that you work with, if you have not watched BTMX, you can see them other interviews like Miss Red, uh, Bella Rotten, and all the other amazing people that she's talks to, I've talked to personally. We've had Mad Clock on. I'm trying to get an interview with other members of your team. Some of your team actually comes over and helps us at BTMX. Because Mad Clock's, his brother-in-law is actually a new part of Shadow Squad. And
Oh, that's awesome.
yeah, so we constantly help each other out, and it's all because the faith and the love that you give people around you that make us want to grow and help others. So keep that in mind every time that you don't think that you're good enough. I think that the world's not good enough for you, and that's just my opinion. I know a lot of people probably agree with me. But since there's no comments, I'm going to go ahead and let you go and enjoy the rest of your night. Is there anything else you want to go ahead and say to the rest of the family that's watching?
I just want to say thank you, everybody at First Angel, for sticking with me. It's become a machine that just keeps going, and I love everybody there. They are my family. They truly are. I'd do anything for any one of them. And once family, always family. And I consider you part of our family as well. So thank you so much for taking the time tonight.
No, thank you. I just want you to know how much you actually mean to so many people. So we're going to go ahead and let you go and enjoy the rest of your night. And we're actually going to go ahead and play her promo that we made for her. And you guys will actually get to see all the thankful videos from her friends and family from around her. So thank you so much, Miss Jana.
For everyone in the videos.
So thank you so much, and you have a great night.
Night. Bye.
Bye.
I took a moment to realize that I got lost in your eyes. This dreamlike state has me paralyzed. You had me hypnotized. I sit here alone without you. Your presence is intoxicating. Almost losing myself in my fucking mind. Yet you're there and nothing's left. I took a moment to realize that
I have a lot to be thankful for Jana for. She has a tremendous amount of knowledge in photography. She has helped me endlessly with my own personal photography, my band's photography, both on and off the stage. In terms of media, she's got the contacts, she's got the PR, everything. She's got articles. She's just helped me tremendously with everything. Jana has helped me further get into my own personal photography, my own personal videography. With that kind of knowledge, I couldn't have got it from anyone else, I swear. Jana loves going in abandoned buildings with me. She even saved me from our last escapade whenever I fell and got a pretty serious injury. So there are endless amounts of things to be thankful for when it comes to Jana. I I love you endlessly. Thank you.
Jana has been helpful by being supportive and awesome and giving me a platform to display my creative ability.
Hey, it's Joe, otherwise known as Raven. I'm a writer at First Angel Media. And I met Jana on Facebook, ironically, through a show at the Subalpine, and ever since then we started talking, and she kind of watched my life fall apart, and through her keen inspirational ways gave me lots of positive input and watched and helped me put it back together, and gave me an opportunity to write for her company, and has since helped me do some modeling and helped me through a lot of personal issues. And she's a great person. She's a really good friend, a really great boss, and she does everything she can to help everybody around her. So any opportunity you get to work with her, you definitely need to take advantage of, because it's well worth your while. Again, this is Raven from First Angel Media, and we love you, Jana.
Hey guys, I'm Bella Rotten. I met Jana about a year ago when we did a merch shoot together. Right away, I just fell in love with her. Her personality and working with her was absolutely amazing. She was fun, made everybody at the shoot comfortable. From there, some crazy shit was happening, and we started talking and became pretty good friends, and she didn't cast a magic spell on me, which was very much appreciated. From then, I started working with her company a few months ago as a model with First Angel Media, and I just want to thank her for the opportunity she has brought to me and for being such a good friend and dealing with the crazy shit with me. Love you, Jana.
Hi guys, my name is Bill. I am the owner and operator of BuildAScene.com and also the vice president of First Angel Media. And the question I was asked to answer here is, how has Jana helped me? And on the music scene end of things, Jana's persistence has gotten me to look upon my photography skills and work on them. She sent me a camera to make sure that I would realize that it was something that I can and should be doing. And she actually sent me out on a shoot right before the pandemic started. And I was really excited to continue doing it. And then everything shut down. But the other thing she did was teach me how to use some Photoshop and some other Adobe software that really enables you to enhance your photography. She has also filled in for me on my podcasts and been a guest multiple times for me. She has found me guests. We share a lot of information back and forth between our websites to help each other out. But really, what Jana has done for me that's much more important in my eyes is she's been a friend. She lets me call and rant to her when I'm driving home from work. She's there to listen, and really just all around, I just want to tell her thank you for everything that she's done for me.
What to say about Jana Lee? Well, she has got to be in my top list of people who will support your dream and anything you have that you care about. She will help you achieve it. She has a great eye for photography, and all her other skills aside, she is an amazing person for the fact that she's willing to drop just about anything she has going on to help you. She is selflessly given countless hours of time and money, I'm sure, to help other people besides herself achieve their goal and their dream. Personally, she's helped me achieve this grand scheme dream I have for my new album release, and she has pulled through time and time again. She's reliable, she's a great friend, she supports every single idea, dream I have, and I just want to say thank you from the bottom of my heart. So